Hi everyone, welcome to Better Together, an ASWE podcast. For future reference, ASWE, as in ASWE, stands for the Alzheimer Society of Windsor and Essex County. This podcast will feature engaging conversations with guests ranging from community leaders to care partners and persons living with dementia to raise awareness about this disease. You're listening to Better Together, an ASWE podcast, and this is episode 33, part 2. My name is Cindy, and I'm joined today by Pauline. Pauline is a client of ours at the Alzheimer Society. She is a care partner to her husband, Jack. Thank you so much for being with me today. We did do a part 1, so if you missed it, please go to episode 33, part 1. Today, Pauline, we're going to talk about communication. The different communication styles between your partner, your family, your friends, and your community. What communication or strategies do you use between you and Jack?
Well, just to comment a little bit on communication in general, it's just so crucial. And there's a lot of good reading material here at Alzheimer's, and yes, nonverbal communication is really, really important. Verbal communication is too, though. I think that when you have a 24/7 relationship, a lot of things can happen, good things and things that maybe are troublesome. Just to say something about a little bit of troublesome is because in a 24/7 relationship you're very often just the two of you for a large amount of time, you can sometimes run out of things to talk about. You can get used to maybe not creating opportunities to talk about things, be it both reading a newspaper together or commenting on an article. It can get pretty quiet in a household unless one or the other are lucky enough to be the kind of people who do keep chatting. But it gets very quiet sometimes. Music is good. Sometimes one partner is far more verbal, generally speaking, than the other. Jack and I were equally verbal. He can be pretty verbal, particularly at his activities here at Alzheimer's. But for caregiver and person being cared for in a home, there can sometimes be less what I would call just normal, friendly chat. And then it can get lonely, definitely can get lonely. And communication is crucial. Communication with your kids, your family. It's hopeful that the kids, in our case, my husband has 4 kids. I have had 1. Adult children, all adult children. Both of us also have grandchildren. But everybody has a busy life. Everybody has a lot to keep their households running. And things like a phone call, just a phone call, great communication. Hi Dad, how you doing? How's Pauline doing? Sometimes the caregiver gets forgotten in all of this too. Communication. When Jack and I get stuck sometimes, I'll say, honey, it's just be my friend. So we chat sometimes. Sometimes you can fall into the habit of not answering when you're spoken to, both of us. So friendly chat, friendly, always answering. Try to be sure that you're each of you, because I have 1 adult child, Jack has 4. They all have husbands or wives. Just opportunities, phone call, maybe a coffee. Today I'm lucky enough, I'm meeting my daughter for lunch at a brand new little cafe on St. Rose in Riverside. Just touch, but with verbal, with communication, with talking, with being friends. And in the home, I say, Jack, just be my friend. I'll be your friend and we'll be friends, and sometimes we just chat.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
You mentioned in the first podcast that we did together that you had to get used to Jack not responding quickly. Can you elaborate more on that?
yes, and one of the readings here, and I try to read every piece of material I can get my hands on, and the little trick that I learned from that was I have to understand that because there has been a cognitive hit, as we call it in our home, that he will respond slower.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not used to that yet, even after 2.5 years. And in one of the readings, the little trick that I found really helpful was learn to count to 7. You're smiling in
Yes.
recognition, and I really felt that really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly count to 7. They're not being impolite. The person is processing a little more slowly. That's something I've learned just from reading material, and I do practice it. I think, well, even if my memory is getting a little bit worn out, I'll always know how to count to 7, and if I give time, and I'm tend to be perhaps working too quickly sometimes, I slow it down. Give it a few seconds. It's hard to do.
Yes.
Hard to do.
When you started doing it, did you feel like 7 seconds was really long?
Like my goodness, I could go to
Yes.
sleep here, but it is working.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm lucky, I only have to go to 6. And that takes away you laying stress on your partner. For God's sake, he doesn't need any more stress, and I don't need any more stress. So I have to learn the techniques. That's, by the way, another big thing I've learned. He, to a certain degree, cannot change and stop looking. Boy, a piece of advice, 2.5 years, and I'm still trying to stop trying to find the person of 2.5 years ago. He's not there. And you know, it's a very interesting thing. This has had no thought or preparation. In a very interesting way, we love each other better now than we did. And not that he's a newer, well, he's a newer, different person to a certain degree, but more lovable, and he tries so hard and does so well much of the time. And when I slow down, do so much better, and count to at least 6, if I don't make 7, it eases things.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find, I would assume, most caregiver and care receiver relationships, they're stressful.
Yeah.
And stress, as we all know, is bad for everything. Slow it down. Mm-hmm. Don't look, I have to. Jack, as I knew him, is not going to be back ever, because he has no opportunity for any higher cognitive gain. There's no surgeries possible of any kind that would be helpful to him, and they would be too high risk. And he is now 81, and they won't even do them. So, okay, we are where we are. And I hate the expression, but it is what it is. And we have to move along. And in many ways, our relationship is better in many ways. I can't say enough about the fact that patience, kindness. I can remember even before this stroke occurred, I said, you know what, honey, we would talk. Kindness, if we just took kindness and made it the base, it almost solves everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a caregiver and it's such an alarming change, kindness can get stretched pretty thin. And then communication, you can get pretty upset. You as a caregiver can get angry sometimes. You can also forgive yourself, and you get frustrated, and your belief in a higher power gets challenged. But communication, nonverbal is real important, and that's okay. That's not a problem for me to watch for nonverbal. But also in communication, I find that the facial expressions are more subdued, or changed, or closer to immobile sometimes, that you can't trust nonverbal communication in the same way.
Yeah.
But you will see, if you can yourself get your stress level down, that your partner is stressed, and know when to ease off and communicate in a gentler way.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just a few of my thoughts on communication.
Mm-hmm. How important is it for socialization?
Socialization, in our case, and I'm assuming in many, is crucial. That is why we're involved in so many programs here. We're very involved in music through the Windsor Symphony. We follow jazz music, some magic concerts that go on out in Amherstburg, where the wonderful pianist, who now I'm under pressure and I can't think of his name, drags out his grand piano, bumping it down the driveway, and he puts tents all over the whole backyard, as well as the stage, of course. And 4 times a year he puts on a concert under these tents. We would never miss them, and we go to those. Music is, to me, is such a stimulant and such a gracious mental stimulation. We're hilarious. I begged my husband today, no more Dire Straits. No, thank you. You wouldn't believe some of the people that we listen to with that crazy Alexa program. Every time we have a long list sitting by the the black ball there, and anybody we can think of, we run over and add their name to the list, and then we ask Alexa to play some.
I love that.
I mean, oh God, even I can't. Some of the ones, you're way too young. Some of them go back so far. We're into the 40s and 50s and 60s, and it's so nice because when you're bored, then you just get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorites, you can tell we're 60s and 70s. Tina Turner and
I can see you guys singing along.
Rod Stewart, and we will get up and dance.
Yeah.
There's another couple in our building who are going through some very difficult things, and we've watched them dance at the number of functions that we have at our Solidarity Towers apartment, which we love.
Mm-hmm.
And we dance in the kitchen because there's somewhere to hang on to very close the counter.
Good.
Because Jack has use of a cane. Music.
It's a beautiful thing.
We're going to everything in the world that we can get to. We go to the one grandson's basketball games always, and they've just won the championship. An incredible junior basketball, Riverside High School, top of the. I wish I knew how to say it better.
I think SWASA.
Not SWASA, because when you're a junior team, it doesn't go.
WESA?
WESA.
Yeah.
They just took the WESA championship, and marvelous watching those young people. And for Jack, it's a major stimulant. He just is intense at those games. Anything we can think of, our whole life is dedicated to really cognitive stimulation, to keep Jack as able as possible, as long as possible. And that's our whole goal, which goes back to where, boy, would I love a few days someday just to be somebody who, with a girlfriend, and
me time, girl time,
laugh a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And boy, I can't say enough about and it took me a long time. I've only started in the last 2 or 3 months to get into self-care again. I put a tiny bit of makeup on today. It's probably the first time in months,
Yeah.
months and months and months. And I have to, and I think we caregivers, you've got to, and I know I have to do it more than anybody, find a little slot of time. Hey, I call it my spa time now, and shut the bathroom door. And my husband, we have a PSW, I have to say, in our building, private hire, Sarah, who is a gift from heaven, and twice a week we're not covered in any way by anything. It's private hire, but she and Jack have a spa time together, and their communication is beyond description. She is a gift. They laugh and they chat and they talk about everything in the world. And I don't want to promote her too much because I don't ever want to lose her. And she's become a member of our family. We went through a formal ceremony that Sarah, I love that kind of thing, and so does she. She has formally become a member of our tribe.
I love
It's
that.
we love that kind of thing, and she's family. So if you can have those relationships, that's great. That's great. And one last thing, and I don't know if I'm going too long here. When people say, "What can I do to help?" answer them, but name something specific. Is there any chance that once a month you could come and grab Jack and just take him for a coffee? Is there any chance that maybe once on a Sunday, grab him for lunch? My son-in-law grabbed Jack one day a couple of weeks ago, first time, and took him out for lunch. The two guys, beautiful. Like be specific on what would actually help.
Right.
Maybe it would be, could you just come for 1 hour? There's a few things that Jack will want to show you. He's always got stuff he wants to show people. And just spend that hour, and I'll just buzz out and go see people in the building that we both support.
Yes.
Be specific, because it's too hard for someone if they say, "What can I do to help?" And if you've got to tell them something, and don't deny people a chance to step up to feel the goodness of helping themselves. But tell them something.
Yes. I love that, because so often people are like, "Oh, you can do whatever," or
Yeah.
it's just so vague.
Call me for anything.
Yeah, and then that gets lost.
Gone.
Yep.
Gone.
So that is very, very good. I love that. One last thing I want to ask you. What's one advice you would give to a new care partner that's on this new...
Well, if it's a new care partner and you haven't yet, I am, if you are an eligible person for Alzheimer's, and I know too many people think Alzheimer's society is just about
The person living with dementia.
well, yeah, but I know that it's just dementia's the umbrella,
Yep.
and that's just memory issues. Alzheimer's disease is just one of the things. Too many people think that I wasn't sure that the Alzheimer's Society was, basically people who have Alzheimer's. Not. The Alzheimer's Society, as I've come to learn, helps people who have memory issues under dementia.
Yes.
Alzheimer's disease itself, I think, according to my readings, is only one of the things out of about 300
Yes.
possibilities that fit under dementia. Most people do not know that. I can't get over the people I'm explaining that to where I live. And it's an opportunity for someone like Jack, who's kind of new into the issue, to get good, strong, wonderful stimulation and help and cognitive stimulation to do the very best that can be done for whatever is going to be happening in the next few months or years. So again, we remain so grateful. But research, come in. get material, go online. But I'd say come in and look around. Come and sit on the couch and feel like we did when we first got here.
Feel the energy. I love
Just
that.
feel the energy. I love the word, English teacher here, miasma, kind of feeling floating in the air. I love the feeling, what you feel here. If you're that kind of person, not everybody is, but if you can open yourself to just sitting, feeling, and watching, and when you get tired of people stopping and asking, can I help you, just explain, I'm just here feeling today. Thank you.
Yeah.
Would do it.
I'm here to feel out the vibes.
Yep. Thank you. Well said. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this podcast with me. I really, really appreciate it. So happy I'm able to work alongside you and Jack. It's been a pleasure so far. Hey, listeners, my call to action for all of you: how can you help? Educate yourself and encourage others to do the same. Refer your circle of friends and family to our services. Support our events and fundraising campaigns, and become a dementia-friendly community. Listen to new episodes on the last Friday of every month on our YouTube channel. Our podcast is also available on Spotify and Amazon Music. Help for today, hope for tomorrow, and remember, we are better together. Thank you so much, Pauline.
Well, thank you.